A very good evening. You're watching Big Bang with me, Shruti. And first up, Sachin Rayapa's body to be brought to Bengaluru tomorrow. 24-year-old Sachin was found dead under mysterious circumstances in Mississippi. Sachin's autopsy had proved inconclusive. So this is the big news that we are tracking at this point in time. Sachin Rayapa's body will be brought to Bengaluru tomorrow. 24-year-old Sachin was found dead under mysterious circumstances in Mississippi. Sachin's autopsy had proved inconclusive. Well, for more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Bansi. Bansi, take us through what really happened.
Well, Sachin Rayappa, who's essentially a Bengalurian, someone from Nama Bengaluru, someone who studied in Bengaluru for most of his life, and then moved over to the US after he joined Ernst & Young. He was on a 6-month assignment scheduled to end in July. But that assignment he could never complete because on a Tuesday, he went mysteriously missing. And thereafter, under the local law, he went mysteriously missing in a tributary of the Mississippi River, the Daymore tributary, and then there he went missing. And under the U.S. law, they cannot take a person as missing for about 24 hours after he goes missing. So they waited mandatorily for the 24 hours to lapse. And thereafter they began the search after formally registering a complaint of a man missing. So thereafter they found that his body was traced in the river and he was found dead under very, very mysterious circumstances. And the family completely ruling out that it could be suicide. Most of his close friends also ruling out a case of suicide because Sachin was too strong a person to commit suicide and he had nothing to challenge him. So therefore they have ruled out suicide. So the body which they had in fact removed from the river, they performed an autopsy and the investigation report is awaited. The body will be brought to Bengaluru tomorrow around midnight and will be brought to his house in Chamarajpet. The company that he worked with, Ernst & Young, and he was on an assignment there. Ernst & Young sends dozens of young experts every year to the US and other countries who perform assignments abroad. And Sachin was one such, since he was a very bright student. Unfortunately, he couldn't complete it. The body will be brought here tomorrow.
Well, thank you so much, Bansi, for joining in with all those details. Well, Sachin Rayappa, a Bengalurian who shifted to the US, was found murdered in mysterious circumstances. Was found dead, in fact, under mysterious circumstances, and his body will be brought to Bengaluru tomorrow. An autopsy report is awaited, and further investigations will reveal what really transpired. And moving on to another big news, a man accused of cheating people of crores has been nabbed by the cops. Viveknagar police have arrested Yasin for cheating over 40 people. Yasin had gone absconding soon after cheating people. His wife had filed a missing complaint. Another big news that we are tracking at this point in time, a man accused of cheating people to the tune of crores has been nabbed by the cops. Viveknagar police have arrested Yasin for cheating people. Over 40 people had been cheated by Yasin. Yasin had gone absconding soon after cheating these people, and his wife had gone on to file a missing complaint. For more on this, I'm joined in by my colleague Akshita. Akshita, how was he really nabbed by the police? Tell us the whole story.
Who actually gave him in. It is understood that Yasin had cheated over 40 people of crores of rupees. Now, how he had done this was he would go around telling people that he worked at a huge oil and steel company based in Dubai. He stated that he worked there and take money from these people, claiming that it was a good investment. He would get them good returns. Now, several people even spent crores based merely on his promises. It is understood that soon after Yasin, once he realized, of course, that the cops were closing in on his heels, once he realized that people were actually filing complaints against him, he immediately went absconding, and the cops, of course, did not know he was the guilty one. But it was only yesterday that it is understood his wife had gone ahead and filed a missing complaint. She, of course, suspected that Yasin was kidnapped. She had absolutely no clue that he was involved in any sort of cheating case or a scam of any sorts. Now, it is when the cops received this missing complaint that they looked into Yasin, that they found out about his background and realized that there actually found out who is guilty of that particular scam, which is when, of course, they launched a manhunt for him and managed to take him into custody. It is understood, of course, that he's cheated over 40 people, Shruti. No word on exactly how much, but a rough estimate is about crores of rupees. So a big relief for the cops there. They were, in fact, having absolutely no leads as to who was responsible, but it looks like Yasin's wife's complaint has, in fact, spurred them to look into the case, and they have managed to nab Yasin, Shruti.
Well, thank you so much, Akshata, for joining in with all those details. And moving on, a chartered accountant in the city was brutally murdered in an apartment complex in the city, sending shockwaves among the residents of the area.
It was a lazy Sunday for residents of Sun City apartments in Iblur, but it soon turned out to be a shocking one as one of the residents was brutally murdered. 35-year-old Saurav Rastogi, who was working as a chartered accountant with a private firm, was brutally murdered last night. But the murder came to light only this afternoon. Saurav, who hailed from Lucknow, had been working in the city along with his wife for the past few years. His wife had been out of town for the past few days. She called him last night, but he did not answer the call. She informed the neighbors, and when they went to the house, they found that the house was locked. Everybody assumed that he was asleep, but everyone started to worry when he did not answer the phone this morning as well. The HSR layout police were informed. They came and forced the door open. Saurav's body was found with his throat slit. The police have started investigations and suspect that it is an act committed by someone known to the deceased, as there was no forced entry into the house and he was said to be waiting for someone.
For last 4 or 5 days he was staying here alone as his wife had gone out of town, and it appears that it was a friendly entry because there is no forced entry, and probably he was expecting somebody to come. And after the person came, something went wrong, and then he has been stabbed with knife on neck, and because of that he has succumbed to injuries.
Blood marks were found on the buttons in the lift as well, raising questions as to how someone managed to walk off with such high security in place. Harish Upadhyaya, News9, Bengaluru.
The two were infamous rowdies. Flaunting their machetes, they had lived in the locality, threatening other residents of dire consequences. But early this morning, their lives took a fatal turn. Take a look.
Pin drop silence in the Kalyana Mantapa. Blood spilled on the roads. Inconsolable family members, shocked people engaging in group discussion. This was the scene witnessed outside Heritage Convention Centre in Tunganagar of Ramnagar. The scene was suggestive of a gory incident, but not many knew what transpired here in the dead of the night. 3:30 a.m. Tunganagar. A wedding was taking place at this very Kalyana Mantapa. The bride was Ashwini, a resident of Tunganagar, and groom was Murthy, a resident of Rajagopal Nagar. Amidst the crowd were 5 friends of the groom who were busy gambling. While the game was all fun, 2 of the friends lost all their money. This was enough for an argument to begin, followed on by a fight. In a fit of rage, the 2 friends wielded their machetes. Even the others followed suit. And before anyone could realize the gravity of the situation, the 3 friends bludgeoned their friends to death.
5:30 ಯಾರೋ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಇದು ಮಗನಿರೋ ದಾಸರಳ್ಳಿಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಗೂ ಸ್ಕೂಟ್ರಿಗೂ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗೈತಿ ಅಂತಾನೆ. ಯಾರಿಗಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದೆ. ಸುರೇಶನ್ಗಂತೆ ಅಂದ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಇರಪ್ಪ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಕೇಳಬೇಡ ನೀನು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡೋರವ್ರೆ, ಯಾರು ಇದು ಮಾಡೋರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 5:30 ನಮ್ಮ ಯಜಮಾನ ಎಬ್ಬರಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ವಾಚ್ಮನ್ ಮನೆ ಐತಿ, ಆ ವಾಚ್ಮನ್ ಮಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಒಂಚೂರು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಅಂದೆ. ಅಷ್ಟೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿದ್ಯವ ಅಂತೋದ ಸುರೇಶ ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗೊತ್ತು.
The Rajagopal Nagar police, who learnt of the shocking incident, rushed to the Kalyana Mantapa. On preliminary investigation, they realized that the 2 deceased were rowdy cheaters. They were identified as 23-year-old Firoz Babu and 28-year-old Suresh.
ಮಹೇಶ, ಪ್ರಸನ್ನ, ಮುನಿಯ, ಜಗಲ್, ರಾಜು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 5 ಜನ, ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಿಕ್ಕಿ ಜನ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಏನೋ ಹಳೆ ದ್ವೇಷ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಂತ. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡೋರು.
The bodies of the deceased have been sent for post-mortem and the reports are expected by tomorrow. Meanwhile, the police has begun interrogating the bride's brother Guru, who is a rowdy sheeter. They have also launched a manhunt to nab the 3 accused, Prasanna, Chandru and Mahesh. We have frequently heard that one who lives by sword dies by sword as well. And this is what happened with the 2 rowdy sheeters who lost their lives, leaving their family members inconsolable. Vishnu Prasad for News 9, Bengaluru.
It is midnight vandalism. The miscreants had chosen a time past midnight to wreak havoc at a showroom in the city. A reputed granite showroom in Papireddypalia on Kingeri Road has been vandalized by a group of 30 goons last night at about 12:30. It is alleged that granites and tiles worth 10 lakh rupees have been destroyed. The showroom belongs to Mutturaya Reddy. According to him, the attack on his showroom is the handiwork of his cousin Krishnamurthy, a rowdy sheeter in Jnanabharati police station. Krishnamurthy is notorious for creating fake documents on somebody's property and later claims his rights on it. He and his gang resorts to rowdyism and attack the people who oppose his intent. The vandalism was the result of his face-off with Mutturaya Reddy over the property issue. He had created fake documents and claimed rights over Reddy's property, which in his mother Subhama's name. Reddy had filed a petition in a court against Krishnamurthy and it had enraged the latter. Hence, he had vandalized Reddy's showroom in retaliation. A case in this regard has been registered in Jnanabharati police station.
ಒಬ್ಬರ ಮೇಲೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರು